football fans were left baffled by the news on Thursday that the new card would be trialled to sin bin players guilty of minor offences for 10 minutes. Now, loads of people wanted to have their say on this one, including Terry, the Leeds fan, who gave Alan Brazil and Ray Parlour a call on breakfast yesterday.
It's Friday, I was in a great mood, and then I read paper, and I'm like, what is going on with my football? This sounds a bit strong, Alan, but this is ruining my life.
Yeah.
Every week, there's something else that stops that. You can't even celebrate a bloody goal. I go watch Leeds United. I can't celebrate the goal until I know what's happening.
No.
All these rules, they are ruining the game. Who on earth is making these decisions?
Okay, so Terry not happy with all the changes. He's not the only one, Cass, of course. The proposals from IFAB have reportedly now been put on the back burner following the growing opposition to the idea. The blue sin bin cards would only be used for a couple of offences, which would be dissent and tactical fouls, they say. But it's on the back burner. What did you make of the idea of a blue card? Is that something you want to see?
Well, I thought it was April Fool's immediately. Cause it's like, really? What's the relevance of a blue card? And why do we think all these laws are going to make changes for the benefit of football? I understand you have to evolve, and evolution is quite slow generally. And I look at the game and just think, how many laws season by season now come into play? It's like compliance of football. There is something special. I've always loved, and I've said to you, the word controversy in football. I've always liked it because I think it's the number one sport in the world because of the way it's played. And it is looking for advantages, and it is trying to make the most out of situations. But the laws in the game are literally cutting back on everything that everyone does, that eventually you'll have such a sanitised game. I just don't know. I don't know what it would be in 2030, 2035. Because if we go back 5 or 10 years, you'll see how many law changes there's been. And there's been a lot. Loads of them we don't even know about.
There's lots of tweaking of laws. So, I get what you're saying.
Well, a handball has been tweaked more than any law, hasn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you see any logic, though, to the idea of a sin bin?
Well, I do, but I get it that they're trying to find that not going to 10 men. Going to 10 men is a disadvantage, and a huge one. I know teams have won with 10 men against 11, but it's still a huge disadvantage, okay? So maybe that's a step too far, going from 11 to 10 men in a team, and sometimes it's coin flip decisions on whether he should get sent off or not. So we have this debate, was that a terrible tackle? Was that, for dissent or kicking the ball away? So there's lots of things that come into play. So I sort of get the idea, but then I think of the sin bin and I just think, well, there's going to be time wasting when there's in a sin bin. How are you going to manage that? You're going to stop the clock on football when the ball goes out in play. So we're now going to other sports as a solution. Does anyone not remember that football is the number one sport in the world?
It's a funny one, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
For a reason, it's the number one. Why is it so popular in every continent?
No, you're absolutely right. The problem is that all these laws keep changing, and we often end up going, oh, it's another law change that we've got to get our head around. It's another issue for us to try and work out whether or not this is, the subjectivity of all of it, which makes it even more complicated because what you think a foul is, I might not, for example. And there's so many different things that, football is brilliant for. But the introduction of a sin bin, I kind of understand where they're going with it because, like you say, Cass, sometimes you can get a second yellow for a really stupid reason, and obviously you're sent off for that. Now, if it means you get a blue card, I mean, I don't know the finer points of this, so I don't actually know how it would work. If you're already on a yellow, can you then get a blue to be sin binned for 10 minutes? Or also what I don't know is what happens if you're sin binned in the 95th minute and the game stops 2 minutes later. Does that sin bin carry on into the next game? Do you know what I mean? There's all these, because you're supposed to be sin bin for 10 minutes. I don't really get it. I don't think it's going to come in, really. I think it's they have to look into it maybe in a different way. And I think 10 minutes is a long time as well in football.
Yeah,
in rugby, obviously, rugby's a bit more stop-start than it is with football. And I think 10 minutes is a lengthy time for a player to be sin bin.
I would always have a concern for where the game evolving too quickly. I think change is okay to a degree, but if you just keep going and look at some of the major things, goal line technology, that obviously was a big thumbs up. That's a black and white decision.
Yeah.
The referee can know instantly. It doesn't take time to make that call. So never had a problem with that one. Any decisions that take more time and, then when you're talking about having cooler breaks, I mean, I was like, really? What we're going to now make games go to 2 hours if we're going to do this, and having time. I don't understand where they're making all these rules for football. I don't think it'll be in a better place if that's the truth. That's how I see it.
Well, Ian, the Luton Town fan, has been in touch. No sin bins, yet another stupid rule change that will add to the controversy. It also says that VAR audio and video in the stadium won't make it any better. I actually am more in favour of having everybody in the stadium aware of what is going on. So the fact of audio, I think, would be in some ways really
that's not
useful.
really a law change,
no,
is
it's
it?
not. Well, no, I mean, it's not, but it obviously is a protocol.
That seems common sense.
Well, it does, but FIFA, for whatever reason, and I think it always comes down to FIFA, they're the ones that don't want it presently. I think it would be really useful, just so we understand the decision process and how they've come to it. We might still not agree with that decision, but I think it might just help us a little bit better just to know, okay, that's why that's a penalty, or that's why that's a red card, etc.
Yeah, well, pundits who are commentating on the game have to tell us why that decision was given.
Yeah.
Okay? But the referee's not telling us. We're just assuming he's given it because of this. And
Well, we see it in rugby all the time, the way they do it.
Yeah.
You
and
hear
it works,
that conversation.
Yeah, of course it works really well. I don't see that as a law change or, going from blue cards
it's a protocol, isn't it?
It's just, a different protocol to an outcome.